Welcome to my YouTube channel, as we continue the story of the three brothers and the enchanted tree. Part 2, The Return Journey. As the brothers turned to leave, the forest seemed to shift around them. The path they had taken to reach the tree was gone, replaced by a dark, twisting maze of trees and shadows. "The forest is testing us," Kofi said, his voice steady. "We must stay together and trust in our instincts." The brothers began their journey back, but the forest was not the same. Strange creatures appeared in the shadows, whispering taunts and trying to lead them astray. The path twisted and turned, leading them in circles. At one point, they came upon a beautiful woman standing in the middle of the path. She was dressed in flowing white robes, her hair like silk, and her eyes as bright as the stars. "Greetings, travelers," she said in a voice that was as sweet as honey. "I am the guardian of the forest. If you give me the golden fruit, I will show you the way out." But Kojo, ever the quick-witted one, was suspicious. "How do we know you're telling the truth?" he asked. "Would I lie to you?" the woman said, smiling sweetly. "I only want to help you. The forest can be treacherous, and without my guidance, you may never find your way out." Kofi, Kwame, and Kojo exchanged glances. They knew the forest was full of tricks and illusions, and the woman's offer seemed too good to be true. Kofi, using his wisdom, stepped forward. "We appreciate your offer," Kofi said, "but we must decline. We will find our way back on our own." The woman's smile faltered, and her eyes narrowed. "Fools," she hissed. "You dare to refuse me." As she spoke, the beautiful woman began to change. Her silky hair turned into riding snakes, her eyes glowed a sinister red, and her white robes darkened into shadows. She revealed herself to be a forest spirit, angry and vengeful. "You will regret this," the spirit screeched, raising her arms. The trees around them began to twist and contort, their branches reaching out like claws to grab the brothers. But the brothers were prepared. Kwame drew his sword, ready to defend them, while Kofi reached into his book of wisdom, searching for a solution. Kojo, ever resourceful, quickly grabbed a handful of powder from his bag of tricks and threw it into the air. The powder sparkled in the dim light and formed a protective barrier around the brothers, shielding them from the spirit's wrath. The spirit shrieked in frustration as her magic was deflected by the barrier. "We must keep moving," Kofi urged. "The spirit's power will only grow stronger if we stay here." The brothers hurried away, leaving the enraged spirit behind. As they moved deeper into the forest, they could feel the weight of the spirit's curse pressing down on them. The forest grew darker, the air colder, and the path more treacherous. Despite the dangers, the brothers pressed on, determined to make it back to their village. As they walked, the forest began to play tricks on their minds. They heard voices calling their names, saw visions of their loved ones, and felt invisible hands trying to lead them astray. At one point, Kwame saw a vision of their mother standing on the path ahead. "Kwame, my son," she called softly. "Come to me." Kwame hesitated, his heart aching at the sight of his mother. But Kofi quickly placed a hand on his shoulder. "It's a trick," he whispered. "Don't believe it." Kwame closed his eyes and took a deep breath, shaking off the illusion. When he opened them again, the vision of their mother was gone. "The forest is trying to break us," Kofi said. "We must stay strong and keep moving." As they continued, Kojo felt the air grow colder, and he shivered. He knew they were getting closer to the heart of the forest, where the spirit's power was strongest. But he also knew that the golden fruit they carried would protect them if they used it wisely. The brothers finally reached a clearing where the path split into three again. Each path seemed identical, but they knew only one would lead them home. "We've come this far together," Kojo said. "Let's use our strengths to find the right path." Kofi, using his wisdom, studied the ground and the trees. Kwame, relying on his bravery, listened for any signs of danger. Kojo, with his quick wits, looked for hidden clues that might reveal the true path. They worked together, and after much deliberation, they chose the middle path, trusting in their combined abilities. The path was narrow and winding, but as they walked, the darkness began to lift. The air grew warmer, and they could hear the sounds of the village in the distance. They knew they were on the right track. Just as they thought they were safe, the ground beneath them began to shake. The trees around them creaked and groaned, and the path started to crumble. "It's the spirit's final trap," Kofi shouted. "We must run." The brothers sprinted down the path as the forest seemed to collapse around them. Branches fell, the ground split open, and the trees leaned dangerously close. But the brothers were determined, their goal in sight. With one final burst of speed, they broke through the last of the trees and found themselves at the edge of the forest. The village lay before them, bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun. "We made it," Kwame said, breathing heavily. "But we are not finished yet," Kofi reminded him. "We still have the golden fruit." The brothers hurried back to their village, where the villagers had gathered, waiting anxiously for their return. When the brothers appeared, the villagers cheered, relieved and overjoyed. "Did you find the enchanted tree?" an elder asked. "We did," Kofi replied, holding up the golden fruit. "And we've brought back its fruit." The elder examined the fruit, nodding with approval. "You've done well, my sons. The forest is dangerous, and many have tried and failed to find the enchanted tree. You are the first to return with its fruit. But what about the old man who told us about the tree?" Kojo asked, looking around. "Where is he?" The villagers exchanged puzzled looks. "What old man?" one of them asked. "The one who told us about the tree," Kwame said. "He was in the village just before we left." But no one in the village remembered seeing the old man. The brothers realized that the old man had been part of the forest magic, a test to see if they were worthy of finding the enchanted tree. "The fruit is yours now," the elder said. "What will you wish for?" The brothers looked at each other, each thinking of what they wanted most. "I wish for wisdom to guide our village," Kofi said, handing his fruit to the elder. "I wish for courage to protect our people," Kwame said, offering his fruit. "And I wish for peace and prosperity for all," Kojo said, giving his fruit as well. The elder took the fruit and placed them in a circle on the ground. As he chanted an ancient prayer, the fruit began to glow, filling the air with a golden light. Suddenly, the light shot up into the sky, forming a bridge of light that connected the village to the forest. The villagers gasped in awe as the bridge shimmered in the evening sky. "The enchanted tree has accepted your wishes," the elder said, his voice filled with reverence. "This bridge will stand as a reminder of the bond between our village and the forest. It will protect us and bring us prosperity for generations to come." The brothers watched as the bridge of light pulsed with energy, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. They had faced great challenges, but they had done so together, using their strengths and their bond as brothers. The light shoots up into the sky, forming a brilliant bridge that arcs high above the village, connecting it to the heart of the forest. The villagers, who had gathered to witness this miracle, stood in awe, their faces illuminated by the radiant glow. The bridge shimmered like a river of stars, pulsing with a warm, golden energy. It was as if the very essence of the enchanted tree had come to life, reaching out to protect and bless the village. "This bridge will stand as a symbol of the bond between our village and the enchanted forest," the elder continued, his voice filled with reverence. "It will bring us prosperity, peace, and protection for generations to come." The brothers stood together, their hearts swelling with pride and accomplishment. They had faced great challenges, both within the forest and within themselves, but they had triumphed through their unity, courage, and wisdom. Kofi, the eldest, turned to his brothers and smiled. "We have done something extraordinary today," he said. "But let us not forget that our greatest strength lies in our bond as brothers." Kwame, the middle brother, nodded in agreement. "We face the dangers of the forest together, and we will continue to protect our village together. And we'll keep finding new adventures," Kojo, the youngest, added with a grin. "After all, there are many more stories to be written." The villagers began to celebrate, their spirits lifted by the brothers' return and the magical bridge that now graced their skies. The elder invited the brothers to stand at the base of the bridge, where they could feel the energy flowing from the enchanted forest. As they stood there, bathed in the golden light, each brother felt a deep sense of fulfillment. They had each made a wish for the good of their people, and in return, the forest had granted them something even greater, a legacy that would endure for all time. But even as the village rejoiced, the brothers knew that this was only the beginning of their story. The enchanted tree had given them its fruit, but the forest still held many secrets. There were still mysteries to unravel, challenges to face, and perhaps even greater treasures to be found. "Our journey has only just begun," Kofi said quietly, as he looked out at the forest. "There are many more lessons to learn and more ways we can serve our people." Kwame, ever the brave one, placed a hand on the hilt of his sword. "And if the forest ever needs us again, we will be ready. And I'll be sure to pack more tricks," Kojo added with a wink, causing his brothers to laugh. The village celebrated long into the night, with feasting, dancing, and storytelling. The tale of the three brothers and the enchanted tree quickly became a favorite, retold around every fire and passed down from one generation to the next. As the night drew on and the villagers began to drift to their homes, the brothers stood together at the edge of the forest, gazing up at the bridge of light. They knew that their bond, like the bridge, would remain strong no matter what challenges they might face in the future. And so, with the village safe and prosperous, and the forest's blessings assured, the three brothers prepared for whatever new adventures might come their way. The enchanted tree had changed their lives forever, but it was their courage, wisdom, and unity that would continue to guide them through all the days to come. The story of the three brothers and the enchanted tree is one of courage, wisdom, and the enduring power of family. While the first part of their journey is complete, the brothers know that many more adventures await them, each one an opportunity to learn, grow, and protect the village they hold dear. Watch out for Season 2 as the three brothers and the enchanted tree as more adventure unfolds.